Over yours, I've got this air frying for about 40 minutes here. It's been 40-minute air fry, 1500 watts for 30 minutes constant, 11.5 volts. This was a full charge. The battery's currently sitting at 11.5 volts from a full charge under this load, constantly pulling 130 amps. I just had the little Alternator battery charger. I just made some improvements to it. Had that going on it. Boy, that Alternator's a bit toasty. It didn't smoke. I can just smell warm windings. That's a 90 amp Alternator, and that was keeping this thing 130 amps going out and 90 amps going in, and the voltage just was stuck at 11.9 volts constant. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get the other 100 amp Alternator I got. I'm a 3-phase motor and a VFD. I'm going to hook that up in parallel with this one and make it a bracket so it comes off this pulley here, and other Alternator is going to be up here. So I've got two Alternators in parallel, have a 190 amp battery charger, and that'll keep this thing charged when I'm running a 1500 watt load, such as the air fryer. Should the power go off and we're going to do some cooking for a long period of time, this will do it to keep the batteries charged constantly throughout the duration of cooking. That's a warm Alternator. That was only running for about 5 minutes flat. Only ran for 5 minutes. That's toasty. Didn't do any damage though. I could hold my hand on that. Yeah, it's not hot enough to do any damage. So I'm going to make a bracket to come off here, and then have a belt, look at a belt stash. I might have to get another belt from somewhere. A short belt from there to another Alternator. I'll put it here, up here, or on this side of it. Have it come off this side, have the other Alternator up here, swing it out that way, off this pulley, and it's going to parallel them up. So that one there, put a jump off on that one, to that Alternator, then to the batteries. That should work. Yeah, that'd work. Yeah, that should work. I don't see why it wouldn't. Let's hook that positive to the positive of the other Alternator, and this wire to excite from that to the other Alternator together through a one bulb, or have two light bulbs so I know which Alternator is working, and they'll both work in parallel. And let's see how that wouldn't work. This wire got a little bit soft and toasty, but I think I'm going to have to upgrade this. It did the trick. It didn't get. It got soft, but it didn't get any. Nothing really to worry about. That's probably my bottleneck. Let's see. Where is it? What gauge is it? I can't see now. It's. It doesn't say what gauge it is, but it's quite a thin gauge. It's not. It's probably rated for 50 amp max. That'll be rated for 50 amps max anyway. I'll do the Alternator mod first, then I might have to go shopping and just upgrade this cable. I might have to. Just upgrade this to a 100 amp cable. So I'll do the this engine can handle it too. I can't start it though. I have the load disconnected, start the engine at full throttle, and then connect it and the engine will do it. Plenty of power, the engine's more than good enough. I did start it at full throttle with the load on it, and the engine was just bogging down at idle. Even at full throttle, it just stuck. As soon as I disconnected the load, the engine went full throttle. Then I plugged the load back in, and yeah, she started charging. But basically, I'm going to have this Alternator hooked up to the other Alternator. Parallel them up, make up a bracket. I'll probably use this belt. The belt's a little bit shabby. It's pretty old Korean made fan belt. But I'm going to improvise some sort of a mount to mount this Alternator mechanically. Then I'll work on the wiring. Wire this up with the other Alternator in parallel, because it's a 100 amp Alternator. Put that together in parallel with the other Alternator. I'll have a 190 amp Alternator battery charger using two Alternators. 190 amps, plenty. That'll be plenty for that setup. That'll be pretty a nice project. Just got to make up the little the brackets and improvise. I'll see if I can find a shorter fan belt there. That might be a bit long. I don't have any shorter fan belts to that size. Might have to buy a shorter fan belt. I don't want to make it too cumbersome. They're too bulky and I can't put a belt guard around everything because the belts are too long. Yeah, here's all the other fan belts I've got here, but they're all too long. A1 there, that's there. They're all too long. Anyway, that's just a thought. Let's just set it out. Now they got quite warm. Anyway, that'll be enough for now. Thanks for watching. Thing I want to add quickly, the air fryer is not pulling that 1500 watt constantly. It's not letting the heating element constantly 100% of the time. It's heating up, checkers a thermostat, and then just switches off and on throughout the duration of its cooking process. So it's not bogging the inverter down 100% of the time. But 80 or 70 or 80% of the time it's loading up that inverter. But it's just doing it quite well. Having those two extra DC27 batteries are scored. Dell Core, here I got one, the other one. And the other day, I got another one. There's about 700 amp hours there, 12 volts. Those batteries are paying for themselves already. I had to move this table out the way. I come home one day with the rain that I had the last couple of days, and this roof started leaking again. Luckily nothing was damaged. This table was all full of water, and the floor was a bit all full of water, but luckily no electronics were damaged. I'll narrowly escaped that. I had the laptop sitting there and everything, but luckily nothing damaged. It all works fine. I checked everything. But probably the inverter would have chipped that anyway if it did get water in that. The inverter's got a good arc fault and a short circuit protection inside it and switches off. Anyway, it'll be a long-term project. Probably in the summertime I'm going to take all this wood out, I'm going to fix it or sort of leak. I've been up there and resealed the roof from the top, put a bit of flashing over it, and that'll get me through the rest of the winter season. Anyway, it's working quite well. Well, it's running the rice cooker now. I'm running a rice cooker and it's keeping it at 12.2 volts. That's alright. I'm at half throttle on that and that's working quite well. Yeah, a bit warm there. 460 amps. 630 watt load. Working quite well. So when the rice cooker's ready to go, and the rice is finished cooking the get inside here. When the rice finishes cooking, the motor's going to not bog down. I can run this and keep your battery above 12 volts the whole time. It's on cook. Yeah, 60 amps, 90 amps going in. Yeah, it's getting there, it's charging it up as it's loading it up like that, that's alright. I think it's working quite well. Anyway, it's a quick little test there. Thanks for watching.